Okay, let's try this for a test. It's kind of crooked, sorry. Anyway, well, it's midnight. This is insomnia. I've been driving all day. I'm tired as heck, but I can't sleep. I can't think straight. I can't do anything. Trying to communicate with anyone is a joke because I'm just not myself. Anyway, so trying to do a regular update. Things are going very slow on the boat. I'm very concerned about being able to make it at all. And I'm sorry, I was walking my dog and saw a couple of stray cats, and one of them was in a pretty bad way health-wise. Had its tail was bare skin, showing scarring and whatnot from probably disease, I would imagine. I'm appalled that people let this kind of suffering happen. They don't do anything about it. They don't say anything about it. They just let it happen, and it's quite a. Sorry, I thought I saw a defect on my lens. It's really heartbreaking to see animals and people especially suffering. And I mean, this is why empathy is important. You have to know the consequences of your action. You have to be able to feel the consequences of something you do. And we've just lost that. Most people have just lost that. And it's very disheartening. It's very sad. Anyway, I went up to get my mail today, back up in Reading area where I was. Got my check from AAA for the motorhome, and I'm sorry, I'm very tired. Anyway, I've still got a lot to do on the boat. A lot to do on the boat. But I've made a lot of progress too. The generator's almost completely hooked up. I've just got to touch up a couple of more pieces on the exhaust and assemble it. And two more things with the cooling. I've got to replace the cooling line that I put in, which is regular heater hose, with hose that the radius of the material itself is well, actually it's more like this. It's 5/8 ID, probably 2-inch OD. So it's what, 1.5 thick wall. So that'll never break. That'll never burst. It's overkill. On a boat, you need overkill. But I've got to put that for the supply, and then for the wastewater, I've got to go from the outlet up to the ceiling of the engine room to an anti-siphon valve that I have to install, and then back down to the water exhaust mixer, which I stopped to buy, which I'm waiting to hear back from the company that I got a quote for the item from, that I immediately responded back, please send me one, how much do I pay you? And they didn't respond. I'm just... This society doesn't function anymore. I don't understand how people think otherwise. I mean, nobody stocks anything. Nobody does their jobs. I ordered some O-rings. I ordered them for a specific application. I told the guy what the application was. I told him what my measurements were. He wrote them down wrong. He's been doing this for years, so he couldn't possibly make a mistake. He's also been taking orders exclusively from people that know how to fucking order O-rings and don't have brain damage and don't confuse things in their conversation. And he just assumed he knew what I was talking about, and he got it wrong, and I'm out $100 frickin' with O-rings I can't do shit with because they're 1/8 diameter, 14-inch, or 1/8 cross section, 14-inch diameter. What am I supposed to do with that? can't manipulate them. They're going over a cistern lid, an inspection hole, 13 inches in diameter. What am I supposed to do to put an 1/8 inch cross section O-ring on a 14-inch diameter hole? I did manage to get 4 or 5 of them installed, but I had to have help, and it tore me up. It took 2 hours to install 5 O-rings. 5 fucking O-rings. If they were 1/4 inch thick, as I asked for, plop, they're there. They hold their form, they hold their shape, they stay put, and they actually seal. I can't believe how bad American society is. How bad it's gotten in this country, and no one notices, or does anything if they do notice. And I mean, it's appalling. I went to a thrift store. I was trying to find a router, but I always have this list going on in my head of things I need, and I go to thrift stores, and a couple of items popped up on my list that are obsolete. I mean, I don't need them anymore, but it was nice to finally find them. I looked at one and it was like, oh wait, I don't need that anymore. I don't remember what it was. But I did find a few things. I found some new suspenders, fortunately, thank goodness. Big, wide, with big toothy jaws that clamp down and don't let go like the... I would show you the cheap pieces of shit that I have now that have a metal thing that keeps bending. That's the spring that holds them shut. Poorly designed, poorly made, you name it. But anyway, I found some suspenders. I found 3 pair of pants, 2 jeans, and a pair of casual pants that fit me, 36, which I haven't worn since I was junior in high school. No, it's a freshman. I was 38 my junior year, and bought some pants at Miller's Outpost. First time I bought my own pants, and brand new, and I was proud of them. And a year later, I couldn't fit them anymore, so I had to put them in storage, where they stayed for 29 years, or whatever it was, 25, 26, 27, something like that. Oh, God. Shit. Oh, that hurt. Oh, God. Oh, that hurts. Fuck. Excuse me. Speaking of 25-year-old back injuries, I just pulled my thigh. I got the lumbosacral ligament again. Oh, this time on my right side. Oh, God, that hurts. Anyway, I got some pants. I also found 5 wool shirts, all frickin' flannels. I can't stand flannels, but nice warm shirts, so it'll be nice. I can always dye them because wool dyes easy. So probably just dye them all gray or something. I don't know, but anyway, sorry, I'm quite easily distracted in this state. I also got a kite, very large kite at a different thrift store. Oh yeah, that was one thing. Yeah, that was one thing on my list that I did get. That's been on my list for 4 years now, and that is backdrop stands. I finally found a set of backdrop stands to complement my lighting studio. My lighting studio, by the way, consists of a strobe flash on a stand that goes up to 25, maybe 30 feet. It's on a boom. Really nice setup. 3 lights. 2 stands for the lights. And then a couple of other extra handheld video lights, which really help for, which I should be using for this kind of stuff, but Anyway, I picked those up and threw them in storage. Because I'll need those on the boat. It'd be nice to have a backdrop behind me when I do these things, especially because I've got a project that I'm working on. Um, I'm going to make a fictional diary, the Zombie Apocalypse Diaries, and I think it might turn out to be something useful. But anyway, like I said, the boat's going slow. Got checked for the motorhome. I'm gonna go deposit it tomorrow. Pick up some more tools and parts. I'm probably gonna go ahead, since I got the money now. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up those davits. I'm still gonna look for a dinghy. I'm gonna hang the whatever dinghy I get off the stern, and because I'm using pretty sturdy davits and a winch, I'm gonna buy a cable winch. And the way I'm gonna do it is the winches usually wind up a single cable around the spool. Well, I'm going to modify this one so that it winds up two cables, one from this direction, one from this direction, with the winch. So the two davits will be mounted on the stern. You're facing the boat. I'm on the boat at the stern. So the davits will be hanging off the stern, which is the back end of the boat, by the way. And the dinghy will come up and down. It's about 5.5 feet of lift from the where the poop deck would be. The stern to the water. So davits are absolutely necessary. And I will have an electric winch with a manual backup, of course, remotely operated with a. I'll get all the circuitry and stuff set up, but the idea being that I can lower the dogs down, dogs down with the in the dinghy. And then hop on down myself and pilot us into shore or harbor when we're anchored. Oh boy, excuse me. But anyway, so I want to get those. I've got to cut holes in the boat and install those. Put the winch in between them, and anyway, like I was saying, the winch will be between the davits. The cable will be run through pulleys or tubing end pulleys or whatever, and then it'll wind to go up, and then wind to go down, and then it'll just one winch raise and lower both cables. Let's see, what else? I've got the engine is fine with one exception. The exhaust is bullshit. Complete nightmare mess. They've got straight out riser, flexible tube, riser, what do they call them? Gooseneck? Yeah, gooseneck. Water mixes at the elbow is just dribbled into the exhaust and exits out the rear of the boat. It's fire hazard. Massive fire hazard. There's a reason they use wet exhaust, water injection on marine exhaust. Two primary reasons, four primary reasons. Back pressure. I don't remember all four reasons there. Back pressure is one of them. Cooling the exhaust is the primary, and getting rid of your cooling water is the other one. I don't remember what the fourth one was, but anyway. Am I still recording? Yeah, I still got the 6 minutes, sorry. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap the exhaust for now. It's not going to last long, but it doesn't have to last long. I just need it to get me to Sweden. But I'm finally getting tired, sleepy. Anyway, so I'm just gonna wrap it and hope it lasts, and start gathering the parts together to make the real thing. And I've got to make 6-inch exhaust. Actually, it's 5-inch out of the boat, 6-inch after the mixer, because when you mix it, the water turns to steam. It's a state change, and that expands the amount of gas. So you have to have 1-inch bigger pipe, and it seems to be a hard and fast rule that it's 1 inch bigger. I guess that works. But I'm going to probably end up designing my own exhaust mixer because these things wear out very quick because you mix water in with diesel exhaust, and diesel fuel on boats is high in sulfur, and you create either sulfuric acid or sulfates, which are caustic, which is the opposite of an acid. Either way, it corrodes the shit out of anything. So I'm probably going to use a material, an alloy I'm familiar with called Manel, which is very resistant to corrosion. The other possibility is 6061 stainless, impregnated with a great deal of nickel, very high nickel content. That makes it, and then also nickel plated, chromed inside, which makes it very corrosion resistant. But more likely, I'll go with Manel. It's somewhat exotic, somewhat expensive, but very worth it. Very, very worth it. I mean, if I'm going to spend $500 machine a part, I'll spend an extra $200 on material to make sure it lasts a lifetime, instead of doing what American corporations do and go cheap and build it out of freaking cast iron. I'm sorry, but nothing should be made of cast iron. That is maybe pans. Pans are it. Engines, no way. You do understand that cast iron is a metal sponge. That's why I can't fix the block on the motorhome, because it's completely and utterly impregnated with oil and nothing will stick to it. But anyway, I'm gonna call it there and head to bed, I hope. But anyway, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And I really hope something happens. I don't have to fucking leave. Excuse my language. I don't want to leave. But I do want to live. And that means leaving. Good night.